Hey everybody, Carey Hodsden, PGA here with X Golf Chesapeake. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about shoulder plane and just some of the incredible misconceptions when I see some folks teaching these days, both locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, online, everywhere, and what people say about what your shoulders need to be doing through the golf swing. Look, I want to preface this with how what your shoulders do can affect other areas of your golf swing, okay? The most important area of your golf swing that I worry about is your shaft plane through impact, which is almost never talked about. And that drives me insane because I think it's probably one of the most important things that could possibly be in the golf swing. And I feel like nobody talks about this. And we need to talk about it, okay? We need to talk about this. The shaft plane, and I'll get to the shoulder aspect of this in just a minute and show you how the shoulder aspect affects this, okay? But I want you to, from here on out, whenever you watch a lesson with me, I want you to think about the shaft plane going into the ball, because almost everything that you do in the golf swing kind of culminates in that one moment. And if you don't understand the physics behind striking the golf ball, and the physics behind the golf club itself and how it reacts on the way to the golf ball, then you can't understand how all these other things will work to help you or hurt you, you know? Let's talk about that really quick, and then I'm going to get into how different players look and how their shoulders look and why they look a certain way and so on and so forth, okay? All right, so first of all, the shaft plane is the magical plane that is created by your shaft at address when you address the golf ball. All right, so right now I'm addressing the golf ball and my shaft plane is about like this, okay? This is what creates the shaft plane. The shaft plane goes, down and up infinitum, as far back as you can see, whatever. And it's just a diagonal line that you're kind of setting up here at, whatever this degree is. Let's just call it, 60 degrees or whatever. And then you're going to go back with this shaft and you're going to go up and try to keep this shaft somewhat on the same plane. And you're going to come down and you're going to want to try to keep it somewhat on the same plane going through. Now, interestingly enough, the shaft coming down bends. And it doesn't bend in the way you think it's going to. And I just did a lesson on this recently, but let's just do a quick recap. When the shaft comes down, this bad boy right here, see how it's kind of leaning this way? This thing is toe heavy, okay? Every one of your golf clubs is toe heavy. Every one of them, without fail, okay? 0 of them are not toe heavy, okay? Maybe your putter if it's center shafted or it's face balanced or something. But the rest of your clubs are going to be toe heavy. What this means is you got a 3-foot stick here, some kind of material here, whether it's metal or graphite or carbon or whatever. When this club swings through, the heaviness of this head, the heaviness of this toe is going to cause, right in this area right here, the shaft right before impact to bow down like this, okay? It bows down. So that means that the toe bows down, okay? And the shaft, if the shaft is on this plane, the toe is bowing down to a lower plane, down here somewhere, okay? Not right along the shaft, lower. So it's bowing down somewhere down here somewhere, okay, in a different plane. So what you want to try to do in a perfect ball striking world, which people like Ben Hogan did better than anyone, okay, is you want to try to have the shaft come down. Let's say this is your plane. You want to try to have this shaft come down slightly underneath the plane, like this, okay, so that the club can bow down from here, so that the toe of the club will pull the club down and bow down. Then you'll be on the same shaft plane through impact. It's just how it works, people. I didn't make this, I didn't create golf clubs, it's just how it works. No one talks about it. Why? I mean, they should all be talking about this, because this is how the golf ball is struck. This is the physics of the golf club and the golf ball being struck, okay? So if I'm coming down, if I set my shaft plane like this, and then we'll get both of these shafts together here, okay? So this is my shaft plane, and I go up, and I turn, and I get back here. When I start to come down, I need to try to get this thing slightly under the plane. See how my hands are slightly lower than where they started here, the original shaft plane? So that when I go through the impact area and that club bows down, okay, then it's going to be square to the ball. Almost no one does this. So very few. And they say, well, you know, Hogan was the best ball striker and yada, 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 yada. Lee Trevino, tremendous ball striker. These guys came in slightly underneath the plane. Period. Okay? You can see it. You can see it on video. All right? So if you want to strike the ball really well and more consistently, it would behoove you to try to get your hands slightly lower through the impact area, not as high as they started, but slightly lower if you can. You're going to be moving at full speed, so it's not going to be easy. Okay? It's something you got to learn. But if you can do that, then you're going to be in great shape. You're going to strike the ball beautifully. You're going to hit it right in the center of the face, like over and over and over again. Doesn't matter what club. So this is definitely something I would suggest learning. Now, every lesson that we do is going to touch on that a little bit, okay? On how to get your hands in position to strike, okay? So let's relate that now to the shoulders and how that looks. If your shoulders get way out of whack going through the golf ball, different from what they started, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be at a different shaft plane, most likely over the shaft plane, okay? You get over the shaft plane where your grip gets higher than what your original shaft plane was. So if I'm here and my grip gets higher than this, most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to hit it off the toe, but also if I'm coming in this high, I'm probably coming in outside it. I may actually just hit it right off the hosel because I'm coming over the top and outside, which is what most people do, okay? You've seen this before. We come in, our shaft plane is like this, so we start here, we come in, and then some of you will go over the top, and now you're trying to get down here, and you're way over top of it, okay? So that's going to cause shanks and all kinds of crazy shots. Not something that we're looking for. All right, now, understand something. I'm not Ben Hogan. I'm about 6 foot tall. Jack Nicklaus is about 5'10". Tiger's about 6'1". Ben Hogan was 5'8"-ish, okay? So they all have different body styles, different body types, different arm lengths, different hand sizes. I mean, different everything, okay? Some had longer legs, some had shorter legs. Some are thicker in the hips, you know, like Nicklaus and Hogan and Sam Snead and those guys, okay? Big, solid, wide bases. Some are thin in the hips, like a Tiger or a Greg Norman or a Nick Faldo. They have super broad shoulders. Completely different build, completely different types of ways to come into the golf ball, okay? All good. But the simple fundamentals of striking the golf ball need to be pretty much the same in all of them, okay? So somehow they got to get the club back to near the same shaft plane that they started with to be able to strike the golf ball solidly. Now, how does that relate to your shoulders? All right, so check this out. Your shoulders, the plane of your shoulders is dictated by your setup. Now, you can mess with that during the golf swing, but realistically, the plane of your shoulders is dictated by your spine angle, okay, and how that sets up. So if I set up like this and I bend at the waist, and let's just call this 30 degrees for lack of a better number at the moment, and I bend at the waist here, and I set my shaft down, my club down, and I address the golf ball. Now I've got my shaft plane, okay, and that's what the shaft plane is going to be like. I also have what my shoulder plane is going to do because I'm bent at the waist here. Now, if I were to stand up and I were to levelly turn my shoulders around my spine, this is what it would look like. My shoulders would stay level. I see a lot of teachers out there saying, turn your shoulders levelly. I don't even know how you can do that. I mean, how do you turn your shoulders levelly if you're bent over here? You can feel level by turning around your spine angle here, okay? And all you do is you keep your spine angle constant, you turn, you turn, you turn. Now look at this. We have a shoulder angle here, okay, where my left shoulder appears to be below my right shoulder. But all I've done is just turn around my spine. Now if I started here and I tried to level my shoulders, going back here and level my shoulders this way, now I've pulled my left shoulder up and my right shoulder down and my head goes up and away, okay, to level my shoulders. I see this from a ton of you cats, okay? Ton of people out there that do this type of thing. I see people teaching this, which I just am dumbfounded by, okay? And we don't do that. So what we do is we go, if you go here and you level your shoulders, you see a lot of this on the weekend tee as well. You go here, they go level their shoulders, they go inside, they go up, and then they can't get back to the ball, so they come down and around and outside it. This is no good, okay? We don't want this. We want to turn our shoulders around our spine angle naturally and not try to level them. Try to keep them level to our spine angle. Our spine angle now is here, okay? It's whatever this degree of bend is, okay? And we want to turn around that. That's going to create the illusion that our left shoulder is really going lower when actually it's just turning, and our right shoulder is going higher. And then as we go through, our right shoulder appears to go lower, and our left shoulder appears to go higher, and then we get out of the golf swing. Super, super important. You got to keep your shoulders level to that spine angle. You must, okay? If you don't, this is what happens to the shaft. If my shaft angle, let's get this over here a little bit. If my shaft angle is like this at address, right? And I go back here and I try to level my shoulders, look what happens to my club when I try to level my shoulders. My club takes a different, instead of going up here and around, I level, it goes around over here. Now I'm in, and then I'll end up going up, okay? That's horrible, okay? And then when I go here, and then I try to level my shoulders and go around, now I'm trying to get back to the golf ball. I have literally no way to do it. I'm going to be coming around and probably over the top is what's going to end up happening. It looks something like this, and then I'm going to come somewhere over here like this, trying to get back at the golf ball, because now my arms are behind me, they're stuck behind me, and I can't get at the golf ball, okay? So, or you have the other guys that tell you this, and I've seen a lot of this lately. You go here, okay, and you're trying to go along the shaft plane, but the guys will tell you to take your left shoulder and push it down. You need to get this angle with your shoulders, where your left shoulder goes way under so that your hands can go up, okay? Now if you do this, how do you come back down without coming down around? Or if you try to come back down underneath once your arms are separated, now you, like a lot of the teaching you see these days, they want to lay the club off, or shallow it, they call it. And then they go this way, okay, to try to hit the golf ball, and now we're in a complete mess at that point. So the best way to do this is to keep your shoulders level to your spine angle, go around and come back down, and try to come back down along the same path or slightly underneath with your hands. This is going to help your ball striking tremendously, tremendously, okay? So, quick recap, all right? We turn our shoulders around our spine angle, okay? We don't try to get here and level our shoulders as we're turning back or through. Not going to work. We definitely don't want to do the opposite of that, which is, you know, if somebody says you need to push your shoulder way down and get this angle going here, you know, so that you can get way underneath, you just don't want to do that. I mean, you're going to create so much strain on your back, first of all, and then it's going to be almost impossible to bring the shaft into a hitting position consistently in the same way every time. I mean, basically impossible. All right, so this is the first of a lot that I'm going to do based on this shaft angle coming into impact, okay? But this is how the shoulders work with regard to that. Got a lot more to tell you, and a lot more is coming immediately, all right? So for now, I'm Carey Hodsden, PGA at X Golf Chesapeake. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Leave comments if you want below, and let me know what you think. Thanks again, and hit them long and straight. See you later.